terms of our post-game evaluation with our last game, we just got to get better. We got to get better. We got to play better for longer stretches. The game is a 40-minute game, so mentally and physically, we just got to do better. Our end-of-game execution has to improve, and that starts with patience on offense. Too many quick shots at the end of games when we're trying to protect the lead. So we got to have more patience on offense. We got to offensive rebound the ball better in end-of-game situations. Defensive rebounding was critical for us. We missed a couple of defensive rebounds where we fouled on one situation which could have secured the game for us because we would have gone to the free throw line. I would have a lot of confidence in the guys going to the line at that time. Positioning on defense has been a problem for us, on the ball and off the ball. Inbounding the ball clean, underneath out of bounds, side out of bounds, and press offense. So we have a chance to get better, and we're definitely going to need to get better going on the road playing against a Missouri team that's looking to get their first SEC win. They've played two outstanding teams already in Tennessee and South Carolina. So there's no rest for the weary for any of us that are trying to win in the SEC, which is tough as it is. So Jordan Geis leads them. He's a senior point guard. He knows what he's doing. He's very crafty. He knows how to get the ball inside to their big guys. Pure year. He seemed like he's been here forever. He's a senior. He knows what he's doing. Lefty, can shoot it. His shot has definitely improved from the three-point line. So, early on we used to leave him open, but you can't leave him open for wide open threes now. So the strength of their team is rebounding. One of our strengths is rebounding. So it's going to be a test of wills and desire and who can persevere the most to outlast each other at the end of the game.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll start with Cecil in the back.
Coach, when you talk about inbounding the ball, do you have a guy that you'd like to be the sort of the designated inbound? I know you don't always have the same five on the floor, but is there one guy that you'd like to be taking the ball out of bounds and making the passes, or is it something that everybody's got to be good at?
No, I think, Cecil, we've identified guys that we call quarterbacks. And unfortunately for us, two of our quarterbacks that we like inbounding the ball unfortunately fouled out. And that's Raleigh Norris and Herb Jones. And I would say kind of the third and fourth guy would be Alex Reese and Dejon. But the two guys that we count on the most to try to get the ball in bounds for us is Herb Jones and Raleigh Norris.
Let's go back right here to Alex.
And that's why, let me just kind of give you a B clause to that, if you wouldn't mind. That's why it's important for those guys to stay in position, play defense without fouling, because it's not just scoring points or getting a defensive stop, which they both are capable of. It's also, in the game situations. I sure would have liked to have, Herb on Starks in that situation, somebody who's 6'8.5", and even if we were in a free throw situation, I could have subbed in and subbed out. So it's no excuses. It's like I said, these are kids. I'm the one that's ultimately responsible, 100%, not the players, the coach. So there's no excuse, but at the same time, it is also individual responsibility, and we need Herb and Raleigh to stay in the game for us because they're keys to what we like to do, especially in the game. So hopefully that's the long answer.
Good, Alex.
And in your evaluation of the film, and what do you take away from the transition defense and kind of how several players have mentioned that was kind of another point of emphasis.
Yeah.
How do you get the players to not allow a missed offensive opportunity to carry over to defense?
Well, one of our issues is when Kyra drives to the basket. We're not getting enough support in transition defense. We're out of position, and if your spacing is bad when he drives, and there's five guys on the baseline, including Kyra when he drives, there's not much support in transition defense. So we've looked at how we want to rotate back from a transition defensive standpoint. And then we just got to react to turnovers also, which we didn't have a lot of turnovers in the last game. But if we have one, those first 3 steps are critically important. Sometimes we're just skipping, and then we decide to run. But we have to react better when Kyra drives, and if we turn the ball over, we got to get back and have balance, and hopefully keep teams in front of us.
Let's stay on the right side with Tony.
John said that you did some things differently in practice after that loss. How much do you need to tweak things in order to kind of like help get over that? And what did you do differently in terms of preparation?
Well, you try to go in your bag and figure out ways to help your team in special situations. And we looked at a lot of the situations where we were unsuccessful and put them on the floor. And it may be a situation where it's a side out of bounds deal and you have 7 defenders, right? And you got to get the ball in or you're going to run. Everybody's got to be a threat. Come to the ball, show both of your hands like you really want the ball. You got to be relentless and passionate about getting the basketball. We can't just depend on a 17-year-old kid to try to bail us out all the time at the end of the games. What about some of the upperclassmen? So we had drills like that where we put a lot of pressure on the offense to execute, and it wasn't a 5-on-5 deal. It was more of a failure type drill to see if they can overcome adversity.
So back in the room to the right, Reiner.
You guys went on a buzzer beater last year and you lost twice on buzzer beaters. Does that show how delicate the balance of the season is?
It really is. And I'm not taking that buzzer beater back last year, by the way. That was pretty good. But, they lost on the buzzer beater to us and still went to the Sweet 16. So obviously it didn't affect them in the NCAA tournament. They still won a couple of games. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with us. I think, the last time we got beat like this, we came back to practice, we responded. The guys were alert yesterday. We had a pretty energetic practice. So they realize we have a lot of season left. Yes, we got beat on the buzzer beater. That's a life lesson. So, things going to happen in life, some that you can control and some that you can't. How are you going to respond? And that's what we talked to them about yesterday, that beyond basketball, this is a life lesson. That there was heartache, pain, disappointment in that shot, but what are we going to do about it? And we got back to work.
Let's get a jump over the left side to Kirk.
Yes, Coach,
There you go.
excuse me. I know it's just one shot, but I wonder if when John Petty hits his first shot of the game, if everybody sort of says phew or something, you take anything from that? He seems to be a hot cold kind of guy.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you were going. I just think John is a rhythm guy, and he's looking for a consistency. And sometimes you got to give defenses credit because they don't want to always allow him to touch the ball, and he has to move more without the ball. As pleased with his 3-point shots as I was also pleased with a post-up that he had on the left box and made a strong move. That's something that I think he needs to continue to add to his game, and also moving without the ball. So I think as he continues to move without the ball, post up, make his rhythm 3-point shots. He had 1 or 2 blocks, maybe 1 block in the last game, which was big for us coming from the weak side. All of those things, and showing that he can expand his game, then I think you'll see him become more of a hot guy. And that's not always just about 3-point shooting.
We got time for a couple more questions. Let's start on the right, back with Alex.
You mentioned Kyra, obviously, as a 17-year-old. How did he respond after kind of that? Obviously, the game, the way it ended, wasn't on him, but missing the one first half of free throws obviously factored in at some point. How much did he take that game personally, and what did you have to do to kind of maybe sit him down? What have you done to put his mind right?
Well, it was all on me. The free throw. If he was out of position or if it was a turnover, whatever happened, it's not necessarily his fault. I'm the coach. I have to train him and teach him and do a better job with him in those situations. So it has so much less to do about Kyra. I just got to do a better job of coaching him.
All right, last question will be with Cecil.
Coach, how much zone have you played this year, and how do you feel, how effective are you when you play zone
You know what, see, so some of the things, man, that happens with head coaches and me in particular, it seems like when we play zone and somebody score against the zone, it feels like a 6-point play. And sometimes it's just 2 points or 3 points. And I think we have to do a better job of sometimes mixing up our defenses. We're primarily, obviously, a man-to-man team. Everybody in the country knows that. But there have been times, you know, here and there where the zone has helped us. And I think right now everything's on the table. And if we think it's going to help us, we need to utilize it more. And I think it might help us also when some of our guys are fighting foul trouble, maybe to try to hide some guys in our zones to try to keep them out of picking up that next cheap foul.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.